Hey, what's up YouTube? Smooth Rider coming at you with a 4-minute commentary on a Harbor Freight 3-gallon oilless pancake compressor. If you haven't seen any of my videos, I don't edit anything. There's no jump cuts. I'm doing this on a cheap phone camera, and I have a day job. I don't do this professionally. I'm a rank amateur. So if you're looking for production value, you can stop watching now. I don't care if you subscribe or like or leave nasty comments. So without further ado, this is about a Harbor Freight $50-ish little pancake compressor, kind of an entry-level compressor. Picked this up a few years ago out of desperation and haven't really used it since then. I went to use it the other day because it is light and portable, and didn't feel like setting up my bigger compressor, and it failed to get above 25 psi. It just sat there and ran at 25. So I sprayed it down with some soapy water, all the fittings, couldn't find anything obvious, and today I thought, what the heck, I'll just take it apart and see if there's anything on here worth saving, or if anything obvious jumps out at me, maybe an easy fix. So what I used to take it apart was I used my impact for some of it with a Phillips bit, but you can do it with just a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, a 12mm open-end wrench, and a 13/16 open-end wrench, or a crescent wrench, which is what I used for this guy right here. Anyhow, yeah, don't tell my wife I'm doing this on the kitchen counter. Thanks, guys. So once you take the main screws off here, you'll get this plastic body off. Here's what you're left with. This is the outlet for the regulator. This is the outlet, the main outlet for the regulator. The blow-off valve and the air fitting. And this is the input from the compressor, and you got a pressure switch. So yeah, I mean, in fairness to Harbor Freight, the one thing I did notice when I took this apart is they did grind clean these two mounting screws for grounds. One is the incoming electrical ground off the cord, and the other is the tank to compressor body ground. That's kind of probably the most kind words I have to say about this compressor. The tank itself, you know, I think they put all their money in the tank. That's probably where the liability is, since it's a pressure vessel, and that's about it. The rest of it is very what I would consider Chinesium. Anyhow, I took the compressor apart. You can see the size of the head. We're dealing with some really small stuff here. I don't know if you can see my math, but I did do some math real quick using just some basic stuff here. The bore on the piston is about 1 1/8 inches. The stroke is 5/8, and so you're looking at a total displacement of 0.62 cubic inches, or 10 cc's. And so, just as a size comparison, here's a tea candle and a shot glass, and you can kind of see, you know, how that stacks up. Over here I've got my Smitty built 12-volt compressor, and you know, so that should give you just some idea here of what we're dealing with. I didn't find anything obviously wrong with the valve unit at the top of the head. The cylinder sleeve looks pretty good. Nothing's dried out. There's a bunch of chunky stuff down in there, but it is still rotating freely. Anyhow, I'm coming up on my 5-minute cap mark. What I'm probably going to keep off of this is the plastic handle, the 115 psi blow-off valve, industrial interchange fitting, some air gauges that still have the plastic film, probably the drain valve. If I don't reuse the tank, there is a breaker in here and a rocker switch that are worth keeping. The cord is junk. It's 18 gauge. The motor works, but I don't really have a use for it. Anyhow, that's about it. Yeah, leave your hate mail below.